Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
I'm CJ.
And I'm Jeff.
And we have a special guest, Jeff. There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, and everybody forgive all the shining on my head. It's the sun. I don't know what the hell's going on
He
today.
forgot his powder.
We got technical difficulties. I couldn't get on. It was a mess. But okay, guys, let's talk about the BS that has been the snowstorm. I got the stuff from Jeff.
Yeah.
Political propaganda. That's all it's been. Let me start by saying my street is still not plowed.
Mine got done at 3 o'clock this morning.
My sidewalk's a mess.
My sidewalk's a mess.
And what's going on today, everybody? What's going on? I went by Ellsbury Street there cleaning Durfee out because Paul's going to get another photo op. He's going to give meals to the kids or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they got all kinds of trucks and bobcats and giant truck came out full of snow. They're doing a Watson school. Paul's doing everything but the freaking people's streets. The hell with the regular people. This is nothing more than a photo op. The governor's on. I saw the thing you sent me from Facebook, Jeff, about Laura Healy talking about. I gotta mute this. I don't know what this call is because today's going. I'll finish my rant.
Poor Chip had nothing but shit happen to him. It's just been never. Hey, Gene, I understand they finally got to Whipple Street.
Hey,
good to hear. I know as you keep putting it, it's a route to the hospital, but it is what it is. The sidewalks look like crap, James. That's for sure. Oh, we lost Jeff.
I will see you then.
See you then. You have a great weekend.
You too. Goodbye.
The sidewalks on Marion Boulevard is still completely buried. Here's to more than 40 and 50-degree weather. We lost you there, Jeff.
That. Hit the fucking button by accident.
Okay. I'm back.
Yep, we know.
Yeah, and the doctor's office called me at 5 o'clock at night. You can see how bad everything's going here. I got to remind me of an appointment that I already had in my calendar. So
right.
That photo op. Don't plow until the cameras get here, and then. Hey,
I told Ed O'Neill Sousa about that. I said, look, I've been told by drivers that they've been instructed not to plow unless there's cameras present. She says, "Oh, that's a lie. That was never said."
Yeah,
amazing how they were plowing everywhere there was a camera.
So So that means that you're going to take her word. Paul said that we weren't going to pay the money for Durfee before he got in. When he got in, he said we were going to get a tax. He was going to lower taxes in the first term and in the second term, and he was going to build affordable housing, and everything's okay. And the border was closed, and everything else. I mean, this is bullshit. Listen, it's a photo op. She was on Channel 12 and Channel 10 saying, "Oh," and I saw the thing Jeff sent me. "Oh, what a great teamwork! Teamwork, my ass! Nobody knows what's going on. It's a catastrophe." It's an absolute catastrophe. And it's like they're not doing anything for the regular people, Fall River. Carol Fiola got her street plowed immediately.
It was very interesting. If you look at the map, you would have noticed that every elected official in the city street was plowed, except for Chris Peckham and Michelle Dion. And guess where all of those streets were in? The North End.
Of course.
The North End. You live in the South End, screw you.
You live anywhere, but if you're not one of the chosen few. I drove around today with a horror show, but I had to go. I couldn't even get to the bank on Pleasant Street. I had to go up to the airport. And then I went around the North End. Amazingly, the affluent North End is very well plowed. If you go on those streets off Ellsbury Street, and like I said, a huge elongated dump truck full of snow. It looked like Mount Kilimanjaro came out of Durfee. There's all kinds of front end loaders, stop patch working, because Paul's going to get another photo op. And Cabbage Patch Governor, the team worked. Oh, we set up an incident command. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did it today or yesterday. This city should have been, if Coogan knew anything, which that's a rhetorical, and it's I'm being facetious. What should have happened with a real mayor? What happened in Johnston? The mayor in Johnston saw the reports, said you can't move this snow with pickup trucks, and he got heavy duty trucks. They were picking up trash.
Right.
The day after, 2 days after the blizzard, they were picking up trash in the city. The street was clean because he hired them. We could have hired large, heavy-duty trucks to plow, had them plow 24 hours a day instead of hiring 80 trucks that can't move the thing. Total chaos. And they said there was a blizzard. Everybody knew about Paul. Didn't Paul go, oh, we got sucker punched? He was on Channel 12. No, Paul, I can see you didn't get in a lot of street fights when you were a kid. A sucker punch is when you get hit when you're not looking.
Mm.
Everybody on a freaking planet, except you, knew we were going to have a blizzard. You didn't get sucker punched. You're just
ignorant.
Dimwit.
You were ignorant.
You're a dimwit. Don't do that shit. It's 41 inches. I don't care what it was. I had a conversation with one of our viewers today, and it was true. He reminded me. He said, listen, I heard him say 41 inches. But you know something? This city has problems with 6 inches, 8 inches, 4 inches, 3 inches. It doesn't matter. It's always a shit show in this city. Yeah, no, okay. But the reality is, if he knew what he was doing, and remember, in '78 we had snowmobiles bringing people to the pharmacy, bringing pharmaceuticals. Coogan should have, and I'm saying if he was a leader, which he isn't, But if this city knew what the hell it was doing, which it doesn't.
Well,
Saturday morning, he should have called every department head and said, "Get into the city hall and bring a change of clothes because you're staying here till the blizzard's over. And then we're gonna set up a room. What are they doing? There's a hurricane expected. They get everybody and they get ready for the hurricane. Well, everybody else got at least a little bit ready for the thing. And Paul said, we didn't do shit. We got sucker punched because we didn't know it was coming. Well, because you had your head up your ass, Paul. It's hard to see the TV with your head up your ass. I'm sorry, but I'm bullshit. My street still got a 10-foot drift in the middle of it.
I got a 9-foot drift on the corner outside my house, on every corner. If you're in a wheelchair, you're screwed because you can't get by here. And my neighbors, being the assholes that they are, shoveled off their cars and put it on my sidewalk. And when I asked them not to do that, they said, F you, where are we supposed to put it? F you, where are we supposed to put it? Hey,
and
give me your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me a good video of some woman that was really, really upset.
Well, you know something? Let me say this before we go on with that, because that really pissed me off. As we, when I called you a Wednesday night, because you were so fed up in your area, still haven't gotten plowed, and it was like a lot of issues. And then seeing the video of a woman crying over lack of help, taxpayer, this is the second highest taxes here in Massachusetts. Where does our tax money go? Why is it that we don't have no help? We have to beg for people to come and help us. Yeah, we got crack a shitload of excuses for waste of money. You can go to better equipment for bigger snows. No excuses whether or not we have 41 inches or not. That's not the point. You know, this is the first time. Well, not first time. Second time that this freaking mayor is making excuses of this shit, and now people are fed up. Josh had a nice little discussion with the mayor the other day. First, he had a nice convo with Antonina Souza. Then he talked with Paul. Tell him, what do you want me to do about it? I wish Josh was on, because he told him right there how to do your job. I don't know if you guys heard his discussion on that.
No, but I did see him with the governor. He turned it over to the governor and disappeared from the camera. He went to hide because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And this comment is right from Michelle. Listen, I live in a Flint. My street, there hasn't been a plow on it since the storm. The next street over is cleared, probably because I don't live on it, or they did it themselves. But this is the video that Jeff sent me here. Let me see if you can at least hear it. But
into their own hands. This woman beyond frustrated. I have to pull myself out to go to work tomorrow because I just started a new job and I can't afford to call out. Yeah. It's pretty sad. You pay taxes for what? Where residents were taking matters into their own hands. This woman.
Well, you get the point. She went on and on. That's a travesty. And thank you, Jeff, for sending us that video, because this is what you got. You got elderly people that need prescriptions. You got people that have to get out. This is crazy. You know. Yeah. Yeah, he got sucker punched. He's the only person on the planet that didn't know we were going to get a blizzard. Hey, I'll tell you what, that mayor in Johnston, right on the ball. And remember, Johnston's the town that got all the extra stuff from Amazon that we didn't get. Yeah. Yeah, nobody's going to get tickets now because they can't get them. They can't find them. Did you see Claflin Street on Channel 12?
Yes, I did.
It's horrifying. I mean, you can't basically. There was the roof of one car, and all the other cars on the street were covered completely. And a girl from 12 was standing waist deep in the middle of the street, and it's like, what? And what are they doing today? When I drove down Eastern Avenue, they got Pleasant Street blocked, which was clear, so they can clear the corners. They're clearing the corners before they clean the streets. People in Fall River streets are still not clean. He's cleaning the schools because all he cares about, look, for COVID, the kids didn't go to school for 6 months. Screw the goddamn schools. Get all that equipment you got at Durfee so you can get your photo op and get their ass here and plow the streets.
Yep.
When it comes to sidewalks and the traffic, when you have to wait for the traffic light to go to walk. They don't clear that up at all. So I don't know. You know where South Coast Marketplace, where they finally did the lights? Yeah. I don't know if it's state responsibility to clean that or city, because that is completely untouched. Period. I'm like, who is responsible for cleaning this shit? And it's Did you notice
that the whole corridor was clean?
Yes.
You know what I was told?
Oh, yeah, they put equipment on a rail trail.
Yeah,
they put equipment on a rail trail. My street, I can't get down. And they're cleaning a freaking rail trail. I mean, this is absurd.
Josh called again this morning, and he had his saying again. Why is it that certain places gets touched properly, looks spanking, everything's nice and clean now, but the rest of the city in the South End is shit. Let's let them worry about that. They gotta take care of themselves. What the it's so fucking serious. I'm sorry. I'm fed up.
I just got a good idea. You know, you wanted that spot cleaned. It's not the state, because the state does do a good job of cleaning anything that's under their jurisdiction. Well, CJ, how's this for an idea? We'll call Andrew Raposo. He can make a snowman.
Mount Raposo. Mount Raposo.
Another Mount. So he could go over there and make a snowman.
Well, I know that there was another issue of false information, and again, you brought this up, CJ, that your neighbor wanted to start shit with you by putting snow. There should be a law on that. Like you shouldn't even do that. Putting snow into your area which you already cleaned. And then the other day, people were having false. I'm not going to say name. You might know who. She spoke to Ann O'Neill about the misinformation about your own machine removing snow. You can't use it, or you get fined. That was all BS. That's not true.
Right.
DC.
That's what I was told. When I spoke to Ann O'Neill Souza, I said, look, people are getting information that they can't even remove the snow out of their streets because they'll get fined. She says, that is an absolute lie. That's misrepresented.
So then who brought that up? And somebody should say that.
And
I wish people told me to get the
not
information.
to lie. They do not have a history of lying. And James is right. The government center was spotless.
It still is spotless.
Yeah.
That's right. Spotless. Beautiful.
Oh, and they're going to be open tomorrow.
So is Durfee High School now. They spent all day cleaning Durfee for Coogan to go get a photo op. And then then on their way out, the Cabbage Patch governor says, "Oh, the great teamwork. They don't have they don't have a clue. They don't know what streets are clean. They don't care. They're doing the areas that they want to do in a priority that they want to make.
Exactly.
There's no plan, no rhyme, no reason, because we have no leadership, zero leadership. When he gets on TV, every time he gets on TV, his handler should tell him, Paul, stay off the stage. We got sucker punched. Oh, and it's 41. And Josh Pont, who I'm surprised at, he used to be, at one time, he was making excuses. Oh, we go, I don't care. The guy I spoke to earlier was right. 41 inches, 21 inches, 12 inches, 6 inches. We always have a problem in this city. Why? There's absolutely no plan. Well, people should have been in on Saturday night at the government center.
This is an allegation. This is an allegation. I cannot get a third confirmation. But I have been told by people in the know that Al Oliveira told the administration that unless I get a contract, I'm not doing anything. And he proved it. And he proved it.
Well, I mean, anybody didn't know Paul could never make a decision in his life. It hasn't been paying attention, Nelson, and that's the reality. I mean, look at him. He runs from everything.
Yeah, but you see, Stevie, if you brought Healy through the homeless encampment, there's no snow. They cleaned it up.
Yeah, they cleaned the rail trail.
Right.
They wanted to make sure they could get to the methadone clinic. We can't get out of our houses. I live near the end of my street, which goes in the county, which was like one lane. It's still one lane, basically. 1.5 lanes at best. But my neighbors, they went out in the street with the snow blowers, and we shoveled and stuff and shoveled ourselves out. And now I can get in and out, but I can't come down my street. I've got to go down county, back up my street, going backwards up the street to get to my driveway, and then get into the driveway. I mean, this is look. The problem is, nobody's expecting them to clear the city in a day. You got 41 inches of snow, but you can expect somebody to prepare. You know what the 6 P's are. The 6 P's for you people out there who don't know what the 6 P's are. Poor preparation provides piss poor performance.
That's right.
That's it. Now we're going to add another one. Paul's piss poor performance provides freaking piss poor performance. There was nothing. Look at when you have a hurricane anywhere in the country, they bring everybody in 2 days, 3 days before to plan. You got a blizzard. You got a blizzard coming. Bring your department. There's a rumor that one department head didn't even show up. He stayed in Somerset. That's an allegation, but he didn't, and he should be fired. Coogan should have had his dead ass up in the city hall, called them all on Saturday, say, be here tonight. We're going to start today planning. I want a plan. I want the streets identified that we have to get to first. They go to the hospitals. They go to, main arteries. And then we're going to have to where people need things. This is out of control. Well, emergency response, who we got in charge of emergencies? A landscaper.
And you know what, Chris? Chris, nothing personal about your resolution, but let me tell you something. 3 days before this snowstorm, the subcommittee on public works met, and all it was a bitch session. Nothing came out of it. They knew the snow was coming, but nothing came out of it. They were still bitching about the snowstorm from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So you had a subcommittee meeting on public works, chaired by Joe Camara, and nothing happened with it. Nothing.
Well,
Nobody
Chris,
said, well, we're going to get 12 to 24 inches this weekend. Should we do something?
Well, I want to tell you something, Chris. You above all people should know. You have been involved in you're a CO. You've been in. When you have an emergency job, when you're in public safety and you have to deal with emergency situations like prison riots or as a police officer, you have to plan. You have to train. Firefighters have to train in tactics. They have to know what to do in a fight. You can't just go there. So I don't expect the average person, but the average person, they talked about incident command. This is all bullshit. I want to know why nobody shoveled the hydrants. They're going to wait for the National Guard. They had an explosion in Taunton. They were trying to dig out a hydrant. They lost the building. I'm going to tell you, I worked the blizzard of 78. I spent 5 days in the Globe Station. 5 days. Most of the whole department was on for 4. The 5th day, they kept the farthest removed ship still on duty. First 3 days, every single piece of fire apparatus in the city of Fall River was on the street shoveling hydrants. I was a lieutenant in 78. There were 2 lieutenants in the cab with the driver, a double crew hanging on a truck, and we stopped and shoveled every single hydrant in the frickin' city of Fall River. Where the hell were they? I always shovel my hydrant. I didn't this time because I got 8 feet of snow on top of it. Where the hell were they? And where the hell was the chief? Every ass should have been in that city hall on Saturday, getting ready. Every department head, and you know it because you've been there. I don't care what kind of bullshit they kind of try to throw. Paul Coogan, like a sucker shot it. Oh, I'm getting hit again. That was 30 inches, 20 inches. No, Jesus Christ. We're getting killed here. And I'm the only one in the freaking in the country that didn't know we were going to have a blizzard. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of this bullshit. Okay? I'm sick of this. Useless bastard never makes a decision. Runs away. To put the governor up there, he disappeared from the camera. Disappeared. I'm just a vice principal. 6 years as the mayor.
That's the second time.
Never made a friggin' decision.
Well, that's the second time. He did that last year with the fire. Okay? Yeah. She came down. Oh, we're gonna get help. We're gonna get money. Get more firefighters. And now this. oh, we're gonna make a resolution. We're gonna try to be responsible, get more people out in the next snowstorm. Too little, too late. So
no, we are very fortunate nobody died. We are
Yeah,
very,
thank
very fortunate nobody died.
Yeah.
Because somebody, and I'm going to tell you something, as a city councilor, I have case law where cities were lost multi-million-dollar lawsuits when the city did not prepare properly, where they were undermanned, or if they like didn't shovel, even try to shovel out the hydrants, just didn't do anything. There have been major lawsuits in the United States against cities and police and fire departments for lack of performance or not doing their due diligence, not being properly manned. Which was
Hey, my fire hydrants are under 8 feet of snow.
Yeah, so is mine.
Hey, the snow got dumped by the backhoe right on to the fire hydrant.
Well, they have no idea what a hydrant is on my street. It's just part of one giant glacier.
That's it.
It goes all the way down on the hydrant side of the street.
That's
I live
it.
on the hydrant side of the street. And it's not like they've never used that hydrant and it's really far away from a fire station because it's on the same street as a fire station.
Well, that's another thing. Why did they not plow out the fire station?
Oh, they plowed right to the back there where they parked the car. That's clear. Yeah, no, yeah, he told me, but look, all Paul does is make excuses because he kept saying, "Oh, no," and he tried to make fun of him like he made fun of you. He tried, make a light of it. Oh, well, what are you making? Oh, that 41 inches. What do you think? This is easy? No, we don't think it's easy. But you think you got to do something.
Hey, guess what? We could have been, if we had a mayor who had any leadership skills, we could be like Johnston with clean streets, clean sidewalks, trash being picked up all the way around. Why? Because 2 days before the snow, he ordered big equipment for snow removal. Big equipment. You have cities and towns across the area, across the region, which have ordered equipment to melt the snow. It can melt 120,000 gallons of snow an hour. That's a lot of snow to be melted.
Yeah. Well,
God forbid Fall River does anything like that.
No. Wow, I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know, Jeff, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you one thing. There's no excuses for this because President Harry Truman ended all the conversation about this shit. He said, the buck stops here. Well, the buck stops in the mayor's office, and we've got a mayor that's been in there now in his 7th year that's never made a freaking decision in his life. Every time something happens, it's like, well, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know about this. I'm just a vice principal. I don't do this. And you expect, he told somebody when they said the superintendent of school, well, you expect me to tell them what to do? Yes, we do. You're the mayor.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's the master of the deflection. I mean, this is nuts.
I would not be surprised if he gets this desperate to say, you know what, I'm out early. Because again, we've been hearing the rumors. People want to recall him. Look, I'd rather see a city manager get involved in this to change the city. But if people want to recall the guy, that's one thing, fine. But I'd rather see a different change in our form of government because it would be so much better. So much better.
But listen, we need 2 things in this city that we haven't had, and we've virtually never had a lot of it. But now in the last 7 years, 6 years plus into the 7th year, no accountability and no leadership.
No,
you can't run around. We are going to have a budget, and I hope Chris votes against it. That's going to approach, maybe exceed $750 million. And I'm going to ask anybody. Get that woman that was crying, literally crying, because she could not get to work, and tell her you're going to raise her taxes again. after this shit show.
I will say this. When I hear people say no taxes, you keep your word. No excuses. And when I saw that lady being this upset with what happened, and you're going to be raising up taxes or discussing on how to cut the fat in the
How
city.
much you want to make a bet? We see a budget of $750 million or more this year. I will put money on it.
I wouldn't
I
doubt.
will put money on it.
And if we don't get there, they left things out that they're going to hit us with later. After the
Hit us with later, because you know how it works in Fall River. Unlike any other community in the state, in Fall River, we put a budget in, we vote it through, and then we come back 2 days later and say, we need a transfer for this, we need a transfer for that, we need a transfer for this, we need a transfer for that, because it was never put in the budget. Because
Well, then maybe we need a recall on city council.
Yeah, they do. They do. They need to start a recall on the city council and start with Cliff Ponte and Sean Kadeem. Two people who are obviously doing the self-serving thing. That's bullshit. He hired them. He can fire them.
Who said? What are you talking about? This is bullshit. I can't see that message.
Yeah, it's too small.
Paul told Joshua that he has no control over department heads.
Who said that?
He does.
Paul.
Yes, he does. Bullshit. It's a lie.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, Joshua knows that's a lie. I know. He has no controls over department heads. You're the mayor. I'm going to give you...
Sorry.
You know who he is? He's like Kaiser Soze. You know, the guy that was the brains, but he has no control over of course he has control over the department heads. You know how the control is? Get in here, do your job, or I'm going to fire you.
James, Paul hasn't even sent that down to the city council for its approval to be sent to the state. So that tells you that much, okay? And remember something, people, because this is an election year, and Carol Fiola, the bitch in heat, is running for her re-election, and I'm telling you now, she needs to go. She needs to go. Okay? She made sure her street was plowed. Alan Sylvia made sure his street was plowed.
Oh, they're essential.
They're essential.
And remember, the city council, some city councilors got their streets plowed too.
All except for two. I think Chris Peckham and Michelle Dion. Everyone else was plowed out. Maybe Michael Canuel was.
I want to know how you consider, with all due respect to the city council, they're part-time employees. They may have a lot of responsibility, and they do, and most of them don't adhere to that responsibility of being fiduciaries and spending our money wisely. But the fact is, they meet twice a month.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when they meet, everything has to be on an agenda legally. They can't act without something being on an agenda item. They can't do it without following a law. They didn't have to be plowed out. What are they going to do by being plowed out?
And remember, there was nothing.
I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to go down and try to get into a photo op.
And remember, don't even talk about the floating turd. Don't even talk about the floating turd, Andrew Raposo. Okay? He's a floating turd. Everywhere the camera went, there was Andrew following the camera like a floating turd.
If you think people are going crazy because of the storm, they are. And this may be the purple bag. This may be the purple bag moment for Coogan. And you know something, Jeff? You made a very good point. You know something? If he had any moral compass and he would say, I can't do this anymore. You know, it took me 6 years and a few months to figure out that I couldn't lead a one-man parade.
Well, he always wants to say we're being too negative. Why you have to be like this? Oh my God! Like, don't tell us what we can't feel because we're fed up with this shit. Okay? Yes, I'm not mad. We have 41 inches of snow. This is historic here in the city, but there's no leadership. There was no, Again, New Bedford, other towns did better than Fall River did. Come on.
Why have we got? Yeah, you're right, Jeff. But look, it's not being negative when you tell the truth. Are the streets? Have we done a better job than anybody? No. The girl from Channel 12 was standing on Claflin Street. Said she went all over to all the cities and towns. Fall River was the worst by far. Claflin Street was the worst she'd ever seen. That's not being negative. That's being factual. Did we have a plan? No. Did we?
No.
No. Do we still have a plan? No. We don't know what. And we got trucks parked in Conley's lot. Why aren't they out? Why aren't they out plowing? Why are they cleaning the Watson School, Durfee, so he can give out meals? Bobcats at Durfee, front loaders at Durfee, trucks at Durfee, trucks parked, not plowing in Conley. And we got trucks from all over the country here. And what are they doing? Are they plowing streets? I want to know. Where's the press conference? Mitchell had a press conference. Smiley had a press conference.
He doesn't do that.
Mary Johnson had a press conference. We don't. I can tell you one thing. I haven't seen a plow in this end of the Flint all day, except at the bottom of Pleasant Street, cleaning out a snowdrift in a street that's already plowed, tying up equipment. How about committing the equipment to the city streets? How about committing them to people's streets so that woman can get to work and not have a nervous breakdown because she's going to lose her job?
And the owners of the Chinese chow mein factory is still closed because they're stuck. They can't get they got no help. Where's your local help from your business?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, well, Paul's cleaning all the schools to get ready for school, and some of the parents can't get their kids to school. So he's going to clean the schools, but they're going to have streets the school buses can't go down.
Well, it's like, why bother? Why bother?
You run. I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you. Get somebody to run. I don't care. Somebody's got to live in the North End. But, I mean, I'm telling you, this is an outrage. And I'm looking at it from somebody who, I was in a public safety job during the blizzard. We worried about the people that we had a list of who had chronic ailments, who, when the power went out, we had to deal with them because they had equipment that it was necessary to have power. We had generators to bring over there. We had, and this is the difference. 78, we got hit blind. We did get sucker punched in 78. And we did a better job in 78 than they did now. Granted, they got a few more inches, but 36 and 37 is plenty. With no warning. But you had some people that were at least competent.
Well, the city of Fall River had less than 100,000. I wonder probably less than like 50, 60,000. But it's like we're over capacity in this city now. You can't park anywhere. People are arguing. This is my spot. No, this is my area. Like, you can't make this up. You can't.
They're not, James. They're not. Look, they can't do anything. They're not complaining about DCM. I'm not complaining about DCM. The Johnston mayor said it best. He knew before the blizzard hit that pickup trucks can't move snow. Right. Remember something. We sold the equipment that we had years ago. When Frank Manning was in charge of DPW, and I'm dating myself now, we had heavy-duty trucks to plow. You remember that, CJ?
Yep, I do.
We had trucks. We had a fleet of trucks. We had snow-moving equipment. What did they do with it? They sold the shit. They got rid of it. Oh, it's too expensive. Well, it's too expensive not to have it. Well, we had trash pickup too. Oh, get rid of it. It's too expensive. Now we're $3 million in a hole with private pickup.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently Monday's going to be.
Yeah, 3 weeks, not say that. Well, that's right. And Jim, I hate to say it, but you're kind of insulting buffoons.
Well,
we have to get a special adjective for Paul. We really do. We really do. But look, we've been saying this since his second term, and when he said he was only going to run for one, we said that this man was the least fit mayor. We've had mayors that didn't even have a high school diploma and did a better job. But this man's never had a leadership role in his life. He's always been a subordinate, a vice principal, a teacher, and he's never been in a position where he had to make an emergency decision or be in charge and say, sometimes you gotta make an error of commission, not omission.
Well, I want to say Monday is trash and recyclable pickup. I want to see how that is going to go, because my area, as I said, Palmer Street, my property is pile of snow, and it's going to be hard. Now they're going to have to pay attention to see their barrels, because if they don't pick up people's barrels, they're not going to get their trash gets picked up or recyclables. So people are going to be fed up more if they don't do that. So I want to see how that goes Monday. So, because they did that with me the first week when we had the 16, 17 inches of snow. They didn't pick up my stuff. I was fed up.
Alphonse has brought up a good point. Are we still paying for those trash trucks that we got rid of?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. There's leadership in action. We buy them, we sell them at a loss, and we hire a company that now we're $3 million in a hole for. This is crazy. I mean, this is just, it's insane. There's zero leadership. Zero. That would be like putting, Joe Biden in charge of the D-Day invasion. He couldn't find his way off the stage. So, I mean, this guy is pathetic. I mean, and I'm insulting the word pathetic too. There's no adjective yet. We've got to make one up.
I've been an advocate for ward councilors for years.
That's CJ's big bitch for years.
You need that. I want to see that change.
Yeah.
Well, it has to happen. If you want to see change, don't complain on social media. Get out there and do it. Because again, the lack of voting from last year, nobody went out to vote. So,
well, let me tell you something. Everyone bitches, pisses, and moans about the CPA. Chip and I have been fighting for years to repeal the CPA. So what happens? Sean Kadeem puts in a resolution so that the city council has a say in how CPA money is funded and how it's used.
Oh, wait a minute.
We don't want that. We want it gone.
CJ, did you just say he wanted a say?
Yes.
How dare he? We don't get to tell him. He said, how dare we ask him to ask us how they spend our money in excess of 5 million and 20 million, right? But Sean has to get a say in everything.
Right.
But the people don't get a say in anything.
That's right.
So this is the problem we've got. And it's a horror show. And I don't see any way except running people again. I hope somebody runs in Carol Fiola's district. Everybody forgets that when she did have a good run, when Dave Steinoff ran against her, he beat her in Fall River. He lost because he didn't work in a Sonnet in Freetown, and he didn't get the votes over there.
Right.
So I mean, listen,
which is weird because that's a highly Republican area.
Yeah. But he had some negative stuff going. He still beat her in Fall River. But I'll tell you, you can't condone this. There's no excuse for this. He ran off the camera, but the governor gets on, and Paul was nowhere to be seen in the shot. You could see every other city people. I saw Billy and a few other people in the background. Where's Coogan? Right off camera. Like, please don't ask me a question. I don't want to know. I'll let the governor, and then the governor starts their bullshit. We got an incident command. Incident command, my ass. Why did we tie up equipment? This is what pisses me off the most about all of this stuff. Everything that was done was not done for the people of Fall River. It was done for political photo ops. Optics. Yeah. Get the cameras where we're going to plow. When they come in from out of town, the governor's going to go around and shake everybody's hand and talk about the great teamwork that we got. Horse shit. It's all optics. It has nothing. It's just bullshit. Everything was for optics. Nobody can show. I want to see a plan that somebody put together from DCM, from anywhere, that had the streets prioritized for clearing and in what order they were going to be done. I want to see it now. They're up there spitballing everything, and you can't do that shit. You can't do that. You can't go into battle without preparation, because you know if you send all your troops in there and you forgot to give them bullets, they're kind of screwed.
You think?
You're kind of screwed.
You think? Stevie, you're at it again.
Yeah, Stevie, I think he actually kind of said that. Not exactly in those words, but he kind of did say that. Hey, I can get Paul's next thing is he's going to get up there and say, I guarantee it'll be gone by July.
Oh, he was supposed to have a state of the city, but then he didn't get the approval. So I wonder if he's still going to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for. It's all for. It was all for show. You think I want to see the governor shaking hands with people? And it's like, no, I want to see those people on the plows moving the snow.
Well, you know how it is. Shit is attracted to shit. So
well, it's an election year. You can't get rid of them. It's like it's like baiting a trap with peanut butter for a rat. You get a camera in an election year, they can't stay away. They just can't stay away. They've got to show up. And of course, she's going to come down here because she knows this city voted Republican. They voted for Trump.
Yeah.
She's worried about Fall River. Yeah, well, mine's near the fire station. You think the fire apparatus should be able to get down my street since it's right alongside of it? They got the other street on the other side. I still think they left it this way because of me, but I'm being a little paranoid, I guess. But I'll be realistic. But I mean, what are all the cameras on when you see the reporting? You didn't see that video that Jeff showed me with the woman crying on Channel 12. What you saw is the governor shaking hands. You saw the press conference. Then you got the thing that you sent me that was on Facebook, which I don't do, about the great teamwork. I just left for the great teamwork. Well, you know something, Maura, come down with your friends and shovel out Claflin Street, and then I'll give you a hand, okay? So don't give me that horse shit, because it's all political bullshit. Wherever you went, there was a camera. So there was a camera following you around. So it's all about the optics and not about the people. It's just like, look, they don't learn. We're in a democratic state. What happened in Martha's Vineyard? Martha's Vineyard had big signs. Oh, we love illegals. Let them in.
Come welcome.
Them in. They showed up in Martha's Vineyard. The National Guard got activated. They wouldn't let them stay in a hotel. They're staying in all our hotels. They couldn't put the truck drivers up because they got illegals in the only hotel in Fall River. They couldn't put up the truck drivers from out of town because we got illegals up there. So it's like, okay. So in Martha's Vineyard, they showed up. They went, oh shit, they're not in my backyard. Get them out of here. They stuck them in a basement somewhere overnight. And the next day, the buses were there, and they were marching them on the buses to get them the hell out. That's all the liberals do. Not in my backyard. Fall River can have them. New Bedford can have them. Brockton can have them. Taunton can have them. But they're not coming to Newton. They're not going to Wellesley. They're not going to Martha's Vineyard. What do you go to Martha's Vineyard for? You don't go for illegals. You go for a shot of Patty Van Winkle. The $175 a shot. In case you don't know what that is, it's a bourbon. So $175. There's only 2 places in Massachusetts you can get that bourbon. That's just an aside.
I deleted it, James. I didn't even read it.
Yeah, well, he'll be down too. It's an election year, and he's running. He's being opposed.
He's running unopposed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
Somebody threw their hat into the race against Alan Sylvia. So that was Josh Texera, who ran for city council 2 elections ago. Didn't fare well. But he says he's going to run for city council, for state rep. And he wants
I'm willing to hear him.
What?
I'm willing to hear him, see what his plans are.
Yeah, we're willing to hear anybody.
We'll hear anybody. Somebody's got to run against Viola, but no. Listen, it's a sad commentary in a city like this with no preparation that the people have to go out there with it. Like, my neighbors and I were shoveling our area and the street so I can get out of my street, because fortunately I live at the end of the street, and County Street was now a little clear, so I can't actually get in and out, but I've got to back up my street. The street's still got a big giant drift in the middle of the street, and we're right next to an emergency. A fire apparatus used to come down my street to get the county if there was something at Lower County, rather than going out and going away from county to come up by the Rolling Rock. So they used to use this street. The ambulance used it regularly. It's totally blocked. And the other street that's cleared is a one-way into Eastern Avenue. So that's useless. But nobody gives a damn. There's no plan. There's no plan. It was like 78. It was real easy. Everybody came in. I had to walk to work from the Flint to the Globe Station. And I was there for 5 days. And we shoveled hydrants until there wasn't a hydrant in the city of Fall River that wasn't shoveled. Everybody shoveled. Lieutenants, captains.
Probies.
and we had snowmobiles to bringing in pharmaceuticals to the elderly and stuff. 48 years we got dumber.
I personally heard complaints from they couldn't get their medications.
Yeah.
Oh, but Dunkin's open and other places are open. But
yeah, but you know what? In all defense, okay, the pharmacies weren't open. Okay, the pharmacies were not open. And then the day they opened, which was yesterday, they opened like at 2:00 in the afternoon. Everybody was calling Chip and me about how am I supposed to get to my prescriptions? I don't have them. I get to the point where I started saying, what the hell did you do? You knew the snow was coming. Why didn't you call the pharmacy and ask them for an emergency refill? You would have gotten it.
Yeah.
You would have gotten it. Providing it wasn't a controlled substance. They would have gotten it for you. Nobody called. Nobody planned. They were taking Paul's plan book. Nothing. Blank pages.
They got suckers.
And then they blame everybody else. What is Chip and I supposed to do because you can't get out of your house? Do I look like Elizabeth Montgomery was from Bewitched? Not going to work.
Poor preparation promotes piss poor performance.
That's right.
It. We have no preparation at all. I went out and got, I went out on Friday and Saturday before the storm and loaded up with stuff so I could survive for 3 or 4 days. And I even went to Greg's and got a cherry pie. So, because it's February and it's the only time Greg's makes cherry pies. So, but you got to prepare. Anybody who's in the military, anybody that's been in an emergency service knows you can't sit on your hands, and you always got to have more than you need. You always got to be prepared to do more, because if you don't need it, you got it left over. But if you don't have it, you're screwed. Like I said, you can't send soldiers into combat without bullets. You can't tell them get in there, hand them a rifle, and say go there, and they get there and they go, wait a minute, I got no bullets. Well, there's no preparation.
No, there wasn't by anyone,
nope.
Including people in Fall River. And you know what? I don't want to hear again out of Paul's mouth, I didn't know it was coming. I was sucker punched. Guess what? You know what was sucker punch? You're a sucker punch because you're a sucker. Because I knew 4 hours before the blizzard started that they were expecting 24 to 36 inches of snow.
That's right.
I got into a pissing match with my brother-in-law from Acushnet, who said there's only got to be 2 inches. These meteorologists never get anything right. Now he's sucking wind.
Good.
He's stuck in snow. He had to go out and shovel mounds and mounds of snow.
No, but that's it. You can't not prepare. That's the irony of it. It's like no matter what they say, they can't get around it. Paul in his 41 inches. Listen, other cities got 38 inches, 30 something. It doesn't matter. But I got to get back to that conversation I had before we were on. We were on a show. Somebody called me. He said it doesn't matter. He heard Paul and he said, "Listen, they were complaining when we got 12 inches."
That's right.
14 inches or 6 inches or 8 inches. So look it's just another in a litany of excuses Paul uses. It's always an excuse. I don't know anything about that. I don't know about numbers. I don't know. I'm a vice
I'm
principal.
only a vice principal.
I don't know my ass from a post hole. I'm still, I can't find me. It must be a Democratic thing. Now Gavin Newsom said he doesn't know he can't find he doesn't know how to get a birth certificate. You're the governor of the biggest state in the freaking country. You don't know that if you can go online or you can go to City Hall and get a birth certificate. You know where you were born, you moron? So then you can get a birth certificate. You know what city you were born in or town? I mean, these people are nuts. All they do is make excuses. And there is no excuse for lack of preparation in an emergency. I'm sorry. They can't make that case. We did not get sucker punched. We got sucker punched in 78. We had 2.5 days of snow straight without a warning, basically. But we didn't get sucker punched now. Yeah, it's that somebody who spent 38 and a half years dealing with emergencies in this city. And I've seen them all. The blizzard of 78. We had one time when the globe, the water was so deep that you couldn't go out with the Chiefs car because it would flood. We had to go out on a fire apparatus, and it was some of the most massive flooding I've ever seen in my career. But you got to be ready. We had shit. We have ice rescue training. You have police have training. You can't have a mayor can't get a blizzard warning. Look, if he called him in on Saturday night and your buddy over in wherever it was right, we got 2 inches. You know what you do? You send them home on Sunday morning.
That's right.
That's it. So what? They're on salary. They're department heads. Get your ass in here. Let's open up a war room and let's get ready for this blizzard. It's not that difficult. But then when you got the freaking, the three retarded musketeers, you can't prepare for anything because nobody there had any leadership ability.
Yep.
Nobody has ever been in a leadership position. Calling, making orders when orders count, when life and truly, we were talking a lot about it. But there were lives in the balance here. What happened if an ambulance couldn't get down to somebody having a heart attack? What happens if somebody needed critical attention because they're on some kind of respirator or something, he lost power or something? I mean, these things, we do have documents of these people. We knew where people needed assistance when I was on the job. I mean, there's no excuse for this. I don't care what kind of bullshit story they pile on. They weren't ready and they were warned. And
You and I
right,
both know it.
Jeff.
You and I both know it. So let's just hope that they remember it. Big mistake it was, James. Big mistake. Because DHS funds FEMA, so there's no money for the Democrats from Mass, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York. And you know what? Trump is saying, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, but they're going to blame him for not doing it. They're not going to blame themselves for not giving it to him to give
Right.
it.
Right.
So it's like, that's the problem.
Exactly.
They always spin it.
They do. Well, just so you know, Neil Sedaka has passed away. Legendary singer-songwriter. Neil Sedaka passed away today. A lot of fans are upset. Rest in peace, Neil Sedaka. And remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. Thanks for coming on the show, Jeff, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.